Now I'm about to reassemble the pump from the Ferguson. It's already been cleaned. I've checked all the clearances on the parts. They're actually not too bad, not too worn. So what I'll do is progressively go through the reassembly. I've looked at the manual. The thing to remember is that there are so many different versions of this pump. Depends on the age of the tractor. So this has got parts in the pump that previous or older models didn't have. So when you look at the manual, you actually have to look at the subsequent variations to look at how your pump actually differs. Now, the differences aren't significant, but certainly there are pieces you'll find in your pump that maybe aren't in the original design, so just be mindful of that. Now I'm using just standard engine oil to lubricate pieces as I put them together. I will eventually put farm oil in the transmission and pump, but I don't have any at the moment. I'll just let the video run, and I may speed various sections up as I go, but at this stage I'll just start, just putting the fork in. I'll just lubricate the shaft there, and also inside the housing, get it in. Lock tab. I actually lost this lock tab. I had to make another one. Don't ask me what happened. I probably picked it up with some rubbish off the bench, threw it in the bin. I've made another one, so that should work all right. Now I'll put the control valve in. This one has a squared section on the end. Some earlier ones don't. That's because it fits inside the fork. So I'll just lubricate that up. This wasn't worn, so dirty, but it wasn't worn. I'll slide that through. Now I've got to be able to pick up the section in the back here in the fork. There it goes. Okay, just make sure that moves in and out. That's fine. And this has the pressure relief valve, which is also in good condition. A bit of oil around that. Goes in there. Okay, and that's all done. Next, the locating shafts have got to go back in. Output shaft bushing only really goes in one way when you look at it. All of this assembly I left, as I cleaned it up I put it back the way it was so I wouldn't get confused on reassembly. Just knock the camera there. It shouldn't be too hard to put in, says I. I probably need to just lubricate it all a little bit. And these will only go together one way too. You need to be careful of that. It's got a bit of a flange on the back. Those two actually face each other in the centre of the pump. When you look at this end sticks out. Well, the fork goes around that, so that end faces the fork. The other end, it's got a slight recess in there. Well, that recess is meant to fit on the end of that bushing there. A bit of oil on the bushing. Now, getting it in is a bit of a juggle. Trying to make sure it all doesn't fall apart is important too. Okay, I can see my mistake. I shouldn't have locked that fork in place. And if I undo this a bit, take the locating pin out of the shaft, the fork shaft will come back further. That, and then it drops. Look at that. Amazing. It doesn't drop right in the proper position. Okay. Now, these cages have also got to go onto the locating pins. The end housings, I haven't assembled all of those yet with the valves. I've got new gaskets. The gaskets go on without any form of gasket sealer apparently. Now, I've marked these plates when I took them off, so I know which one goes on which side. Now I'll put a bit of oil inside the pistons. So they've got to go into there. Now I won't torque these up yet. Haven't got my torque wrench out. I'll just assemble it first, and then when I'm finished I'll torque them up. That's the torque setting I've written down. These are 32 to 38 foot-pounds, but I'll check that again before I do it. Long bolts on this side because they actually come through. This is a closed hole. These ones are open, so they can take the longer bolt. Apart from that, when you look at it, the housing's thicker on that side, so that would make sense. And I'll just drop the valves in, and I might pour a little bit of oil down in there. Now, the valve assemblies, hopefully, I don't like the idea of just dropping those down there. I'll just get a tool to drop them in. Hopefully that will hold. Okay, that seems to be locating all right. I don't know whether you should put oil in there, but to me I would have thought that if you've taken all the oil out and everything's dry inside there, when you start it up for the first time, it just might take a little while to pump the oil through, whereas if it's already got some oil in there, if it stays in there, it may work a little bit better. Okay, now on these caps there's a rubber cap that goes over the top of the spring, on this model anyway. Maybe it doesn't have it on others. You don't get new rubbers with the kit. I thought you might have, but it didn't appear in the kit on there. Wire on the top, and then the little cap bolt on the top, just to hold them down. Once again, I won't tighten it up yet. Put a little bit of pressure on that. Okay, so that's that side done. Now, or it should just be a repeat of the other side. I'm just making sure those pistons are moving freely as I put it together. I don't want to make the mistake of having things sort of jamming up before I actually know. Easy to probably put things in not quite even when you're doing things up like this, and maybe they'll jam in the bores. There it goes. Moving alright. Okay. Now I'll just put the valves in. Once again, pour a bit of oil in. Okay, that's the pump. It's all assembled. There's no pieces left over on the workbench, which is good. And all I have to do now is to just torque these up. do them evenly, make sure I don't jam the pistons, but I'll keep checking that as I go. And then the next thing will be is to put that pump back into the casing, into the tractor.